and welcome to the Torah Outreach Program, Erev Shabbos, Burst of Inspiration. Today's Burst of Inspiration is dedicated Le'iloi Nishmas, Chana Gitel Bas Avraham Mordechai, Mrs. Debra Brach, my sister, whose Yaartziet is Chav Zayin Adar. Today's Parshas Vayakhel, talks about the Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe assigning the building and assembling of the Mishkan to the Jewish people. And it begins with Sheish Yamin Tasim Blach of Yom HaShvi Yelachem Kodesh Shabbos Shabbos and LaHashem. For 6 days you should do malach, you should do work. On the 7th day is Shabbos for God. Kolosabel Malacha Yumas Lo Savaro H B'chol Moshe Sechem Yom HaShabbos. On Shabbos, you're not allowed to do any work. And then it says specifically, do not light a fire on Shabbos. So it gives all the things we're not allowed to do in one general statement. Don't do any work. And then it says, don't light a fire. Why is that said specifically, where everything else we need to learn out from the way they built the Mishkan, what is considered the type of work we can't do on Shabbos? But when it comes to lighting a fire, it's told very, very specifically. So there are many answers given for this, and all of them are correct, and each one we learn something else. But there's an answer that is given in a book called Shnei Luchos HaBris by Rabbi Horowitz, known by his sefer, by his book called the Shla, which is those words, Shnei Luchos HaBris, the 2 tablets of the covenant, as an acronym, the Shla HaKadosh, the Holy Shla. And he says, Lo Savaro Eish B'chol Moshe Sechem B'Yom HaShabbos. Do not light a fire where in any place that you live on Shabbos. So this is talking a lot more than just the physical fire. It's talking about a personal fire. Anger. He says Shabbos is supposed to be a day of peace, of kindness, of tranquility. He said getting angry is wrong any time of the year. But being angry on Shabbos is that much worse, because Shabbos is a day of peace, and Shabbos is a day of happiness. We don't bring up negative topics. We don't talk about things that upset us. It's a day that was supposed to be positive, which is beautiful. But then he said something else. He says the word lo savarweish, don't light a fire. The word lo is spelled with the Hebrew letters lamed and aleph. The Hebrew letter lamed is equal to the number 30, and aleph is 1. And he says that's the amount of hours of Shabbos that you can't be angry. 31 hours of Shabbos, you can't be angry. Anybody here know basic math? There's only 24, 25 hours of Shabbos. Where do you get 31? And he said the Kedusha, the holiness, the specialness of Shabbos starts coming into the world at noon on Friday, Erev Shabbos. And it stays with us until an hour after Shabbos. And therefore, a person has to be careful not only on Shabbos, but starting at noon before Shabbos and going into the hours after Shabbos to be doubly careful. Again, you're not supposed to be angry at anything, at people or at situations at any time. But on Shabbos, even more so. But that starts on Friday afternoon. Now that's a lot to ask. Because Shabbos is easy. Not much has to be done. But Friday afternoon, in many homes, People are running around starting to get ready for Shabbos, and things don't happen, and things aren't done, and people get angry with each other, and people snap. But we have to remember, why are we doing these things? Why are we cleaning our house? Why are we cooking the food? Why are we cleaning up, putting everything away? For Shabbos. For God's honor. Well, if you're doing it for the right reason, you're doing it for God's honor, you're doing it for Shabbos, shouldn't we do it the way He wants it to be done? With a sense of calm, with a sense of joy that we have this opportunity to do God's will and to prepare ourselves for His holy Shabbos? It should bring us joy, not aggravation, not tension. And many people say they go through a Shabbos, they keep Shabbos, and they don't feel it. Or Shimshon Pincus would answer to that, like, how do you go through your Shabbos? How did you go into your Shabbos? With most special events, the way you start the event is how the event goes throughout the time. So if we start the event of Shabbos in the way that's expected of us, lo savaruesh, don't get angry, don't get aggravated. Feel that it's a privilege to prepare for Shabbos. And go into Shabbos with a sense of calm and peace and absolute trust in God that He's taking care of us. And use that Shabbos to reflect on our relationship with Him and with each other. Our Shabbos will be completely different. Shabbos.